going back to your promotion winning season
Yeah.
in Step 6, a great tragedy occurred. Leon Taylor.
Yeah.
How was it at that particular moment in time? How difficult did you find it? Did it change you as a person or a manager?
But I'm not taking players out of Step 6 or out of Step 5 for the same money because they actually haven't got the ambition for the football.
Yeah.
Because this is the first season.
Name me a player that
Yeah.
you would have loved to sign but you were unable to, whether it's for budget or whatever it is, but
Oh,
you would have
okay.
loved to have managed?
Oof, that's a great question. That's a great question.
Welcome to another episode of Evolve and Inspire. Today we have a truly special guest joining us, a man who embodies resilience, loyalty and relentless pursuit of excellence in the grassroots game. Dean Gill is the manager of Darlaston Town 1874 FC, and under his leadership this club has become one of non-league football's most inspiring stories. Since taking the reins in March 2021, Dean has guided Darlaston to 2 promotions in 3 seasons, a remarkable achievement that's propelled the club from the West Midlands Regional League all the way to Step 4 of the English football pyramid, the Northern Premier League. Today's episode of Evolve and Inspire is brought to you by Greenstorm, helping homes and businesses cut energy costs and carbon through installation, heating and solar panels. For a cleaner, greener tomorrow, visit greenstorm.energy. Dean, welcome to Evolve and Inspire. Let's start all the way back. You growing up, where did you grow up?
Yeah, Wednesfield, Wolverhampton.
You grew up in Wolverhampton?
Yep.
What were you like as a kid?
Yeah. Probably a little bit of a rascal, but a good kid essentially.
Good kid.
Yeah, good.
Were you into sports from a young age?
Yeah, very much so. Very much so into football. Love football all my life. Been involved with it all my life really. So yeah, love sport.
Did you ever play football at any level? Or?
No, not really. No. Probably one of the few who do non-league football who didn't. But no, I never really played at a good level. I was busy working when I was a young man.
What were you working as at the beginning?
So started off in construction and got married early and had a family young, and spent my time was following the wolves and working hard.
When did you get into coaching football?
So my eldest boy, Lewis, we got him into football when he was 5, 6 at Wednesfield. So as usual, we took him and some great people at Wednesfield, and they looked for a manager, and a guy called Lee, me and Lee Turton. Lee Turton was the guy. We both took over an under-6s team at Wednesfield.
How difficult was it balancing your family life, coaching and your job?
Yeah, not overly difficult, in as much as if you like something and it's a passion, it's not really a chore. So it was really good. I got very little bad memories about youth football. It was some of the best times I ever had. Really enjoyed it.
What was Lewis like as a player at a young age to manage?
Yeah, really good. Look, in as much as he's a quiet lad, yeah. He's probably the complete opposite of what people assume he is. Yeah. But he's a quiet, sensitive kid. Yeah, and he's always been as good as gold for me. Like I say, he can be a bit of a rascal at times, but he was a good kid, and it's been fantastic. So we started doing this in May 2006, yeah. And me and him have not been at a club together, and it's now November 2025. So from a father and son perspective, I've obviously got another son who's been doing it with me for the last few years as well. It's a dream. It's a dream. It's fantastic. Love it.
So you went into Wednesfield and you were there from 2006, and you were with Lewis all the way across up until youth team. Yeah. When did you first inquire about the first team role, or when did you first get the first team role?
So we were under 16s at Wednesfield, me and Lee, and their first team had just got relegated to Step 7. The then chairman, Dave Saville, phoned me and said, look, would you take it over? And I did. And really, that was from that day. It was a Sunday afternoon. I went down Wednesfield, met with the chairman, and yeah, me and Lee spoke to Lee, and we took over that that day really. We'd done about 2 games, 3 games at the end of the season that got relegated, and then we started afresh then at step 7 with Wensfield as the youth. But then we became into the youth team, so we became first team managers and youth team managers, and we did both for 2 years.
Did the majority of your youth team players play in the first team, or did you have to go on a recruitment spree?
So yeah, virtually, first year would have been virtually none. Maybe Kieran Cook may have played a game or 2. We signed Luke Yates for our youth team. Luke Yates, who's at Chasetown now, he played in our youth team. Reece Mason, he came into our youth team. So for the first year, not many, and then obviously we finished 5th the first season. Second season, we got promoted the second season. There were probably more sprinkled in by then, and then we got promoted second season to step 6, and then we probably got quite a few into the side by then at Wensfield.
Where did you go for your recruitment spree at that particular moment in time when you were in step 7? I'm assuming you didn't have a budget?
No, we never had anything at Wensfield, and other than there was lots of stuff that we did have, so I'm not going to say we had nothing. But in relation to nowadays, exactly what I do now. You beg, steal, borrow, work every contact you've got, and we dropped on some real lucky players, if you know what I mean. We dropped on some good people, and they stuck with us for a long time, a lot of years, and I guess a lot of it was luck, you know. But once you get them, you got to. I think we managed non-league different to a lot, in as much as I and Lee, and we understood that if these lads are not getting paid, and we try and treat everybody properly, which I think everybody will say the same. They all think they treat people properly, but there's a difference between properly and properly. So
what would you define as properly?
So just trust. So trust if you're a teacher and you got parents evening, or if you're a parent, or if you got a young child and you got parents evening, and you got to go swimming, or that's fine. That's, you know, we still don't pay people enough to start dominating their family lives. The reality is, if people really want to play football, they'll be there, and if they can be there, they will be there. So we worked really well at making sure that we had good people fundamentally, and then the reality is people want to win football matches, and if you're winning football matches and you're having a good time, you're being respected, your gaffer's not shouting and screaming and crying every other week, the gaffer's got the patience to allow you to develop, then what's not to like? The 20, 30, 40, 50 quids a week, at them days they just didn't matter, and we never had it, and it just didn't matter. So we worked channels, so I worked with a lot of non-league managers to help.
How do you create that kind of contact book of non-league managers? How did you create that coming out of youth team football? Was it from your youth team football days?
So predominantly, I guess, to start with, it was managers coming to sign my players. And because I got a close connection with my players, that was never an easy thing to do, to take a player off us. And I guess if you were going to take a player off me, that would open a conversation for me to take 5 off you, I guess. And I think we had a model. We still have the same model, slightly tweaked, but I think we've had a far smarter model than most managers, in as much as I think we don't have any ego. I have no ego. My management team won't have any ego, and I create a team who doesn't have any ego. So if a step 3 manager would phone me and say, Dean, I've got to get a lad 3 games, I'd be like, yeah, send him in. One of my lads would sit out for 3 games, but a step 3 player at step 5 or step 6, it comes in and makes a huge difference. So we use that market smartly, I think, I'm stunned more don't.
Yeah.
I think they get hung up on, it has to be my player, I have to have signed him, I'm not interested in making other teams' players good, and I just think it's so short-sighted, it's unbelievable. The reality is my lads want to win. So as long as we're moving forward as a unit, and means one of us periodically has to drop out and miss a game here, and there's a lot to learn by bringing good pros in.
Yeah.
There's a lot to learn, and we just use that to our advantage. And
has there ever been a case where, let's just say hypothetically, you've got a step 3 player, he's
Yeah.
come in for 3 games,
yeah,
but the person that's dropped out, but you haven't won in 3 games?
so I've never had a situation at all.
Yeah.
Now we've had a few players come in and they've been rubbish,
Yeah.
they've stunk the house out. But if I've had, let's just say I've had 200 appearances of loan players,
Yeah.
I might have had 5 bad appearances. The 195, because the people they send are good people. The managers I work with are good managers. They don't send idiots, and I don't work with idiots. So
Yeah.
now they've added value, and the reality is that the lads who miss out when you bring a lone player in are usually players who are on the verge of being out the team anyway. So your top players play anyway. The lads who deserve to be playing, and the top players are playing anyway. I think, my opinion, a lot of certainly managers who are just starting out, they get obsessed with this has to be all about me, my players. My players will be upset if I bring a better player in. I just never had a change room like that. There'd probably be 20 players we would have used over the years. If I said to my squad, we've got so and so available, I'll get him in. If that affects me, so be it. That's because that's an honest culture of we're doing this together, aren't we? They'll be gone, and we'll be 3 places higher up in the league.
How do you build that culture though?
Honesty, isn't it? So I sat down with 20 men, predominantly at Cassie when we first started working with people like Ian Long at Alva Church, and I think Pierre just took Luke Yates off us. I think he took Luke Yates or Kieran Cook. But over that season we had we lost. So I think it was Kieran Cook. Kieran Cook would have probably played 20 times for me that year, would have done. And I probably had 50 appearances back of step 3 players. It's just a no-brainer. You know, he helped me.
Helps Kieran Cook as well.
Kieran Cook's playing step 3 now, but then, and you know, my team's doing well. You've got to be honest with the lads. And I asked them all before the season starts, you okay with this? You know, this is happening. This is not but I'm telling you now, it could affect you. If you're going to be a big baby about it, if it does affect you, pack your bags, you know. Yeah. And that's like, I think it's like everything in life, as long as you're straight with these people, talk to them properly, treat them like adults, treat them like men. Invariably, like I say, the players who usually missed out were the players who didn't know whether they played anyway. It was, you know, it's rare that you would drop a player who didn't deserve probably to be dropped. You know, let's be clear, 11 players are not all on form at the same time. Yeah. Now at step 6, if you're bringing a step 3 player in, you can play your top players somewhere else. You know, we're not managing Man United. You know, we're not. So that, you know, we worked the wheels within wheels as well as we could. And then you look after the players, which we did, and then they go back and they say it's decent, and then the next time they've got to go out, you're the first point to call, and then when they leave, then you got an option on them then because they know it's okay. Then you
because I see it all the time that you've got players that keep coming back. They might go to step 3, Russia, might go to wherever, but they keep coming back and keep signing back. Yeah,
it's a safe place, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a really testosterone fueled industry for 2 hours of the week. But the reality is we all want to be in a safe place where we can be ourselves, we can be happy, we can be who we want to be, and we can be appreciated. I we pride ourselves on the fact that we're a safe place for players to come and thrive.
You say obviously honesty creates that connection with your players that
Yep.
ends up in loyalty.
Of course.
Is there anything else apart from the honesty? Anything else that you have that creates that connection?
So, is there anything more than trust and loyalty? I'm going to probably say no,
Yeah.
because I think that covers a myriad of areas of the game. I think you've just got to do as you say. Go through with your promises. Don't over-promise. You know, I probably have the worst sell to players that there is, because I just tell them honestly, you know, this is how it is. This is what we want. This is what we can do for you, and this is where we're looking to go.
I think that's the exact best way to be.
Yeah.
You,
And when it works, you know you've got the right player. You know, because you know why they're coming for the right reason. It's not foolproof. You know,
Yeah.
you get the odd one who falls through the net, but invariably we only end up with good people. Or that's what we try to do.
when you were at Wensfield,
Yeah.
what was the chairman's expectations of you?
So it'd been a bad time at Wensfield. So if we could have just stayed in the league, and he was just happy to have a team on the pitch.
Was that in step 7?
Step seven.
Yeah.
He was just happy to have a team on the pitch, and yeah, and that was fantastic. And so we did it the first year, and we finished 5th. And the second year we thought, oh, we fancy this. Yeah, we went up second, you know, but when we went up second, we got to we won the Birmingham Vars. We got to the Hunt Cup final against Alvechurch. That's where we lost Luke Yates. We won the League Cup and got promoted. So it was a fantastic year. But I've got players who are still doing it now. I've got Alex Forshaw, he was playing for me. Lewis was playing for me. Kieran Cook was playing for me. Reece Mason was playing for me. Yeah, and they were all step 7, and they're still playing now. So we did something. We did something right.
When you went into step 6, did you go into WMRL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, first year, West Midlands.
Yeah.
And we finished 5th. So qualified for the FA Cup. Finished 5th in our first season. Started off a bit slow, but found our feet, and finished the season really, really strong.
You've done step 6 in both the MFL and the WMRL.
Yes.
Is there a golfing class between the two?
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah.
There is whether you like it or whether you don't, there is a big difference. And when we left after the first year and went to Wolverhampton Casuals.
So did you get promoted? No, you stayed in step 6.
I stayed in step 6
yeah.
with Wolverhampton, with Wensfield,
Yeah.
and then we moved to step 6 with Wolverhampton Casuals.
And that was in MFL?
Yes.
Okay. How was it? I think that was that this first season? In
It
your
was
first season, did you play Romulus in the FA Cup and took him to a replay?
We did.
I remember I came to watch you at Kaz's because you took him to a replay.
Yeah.
And I was at Heave at the time.
Yeah.
So I came to watch you then. That was the first time I've come across you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you obviously were batting way above your station then.
Yeah.
Because that Romulus team was basically based on superstars.
Yeah.
Of step 5 really.
Of course, yeah.
They had Sim Colburn, Josh Willis, quite a few good players in that.
Yeah.
And you took them to a replay, and did you lose in the replay?
So I think we lost extra time.
Yeah.
We lost the goalkeeper within the first 10 minutes of the first leg. And we just set up to not let Sim move.
Yeah.
We'd done a job on Sim. And then we took him back. We had to put a player in goal, and then we went. It was 0-0. Simon, was it Simon Lyons?
Yeah, Simon Lyons, the manager.
He's again another good guy, good football guy. And then we played you on the Tuesday night at our place. Probably should have won, but I'd probably think that, and he probably thinks that. But
yeah,
I think they won in extra time, 1-0. I think, and I think he probably seen who scored if I'm in mind.
Yeah, but you built a team there at Wolverhampton Casuals, and it was very competitive.
Yeah.
What was the budget you were kind of working with?
So there was no weekly budget.
No weekly budget.
No.
Okay.
Now, look, everybody will all have an opinion on stuff like that. I think we had £5,000 over the year.
Okay, yeah.
Which meant Christmas we'd have a bit of money, and so I guess if you wanted to be clear, it might be £100 a week.
Yeah.
So,
Over 20 odd players, 16 players, that's nothing.
no,
Yeah.
it's not a budget, is it?
How did you do at Wolves Kazis? You know what, I hated going to Wolves Kazis.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of glad that I didn't have to go there again.
Yeah.
It used to be horrible because you're an away team, and especially my luck was that we always used to go midweek.
Yeah.
So they never used to turn the lights on
Yeah.
to warm the goalkeeper
True.
up on the side.
And they still do that now, I'd imagine.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't think I had much luck there.
Yeah. So I guess the 100% answer, like everything in this game, I had good players.
Yeah.
I had still got the good people.
Yeah.
I'd got the youth team players coming through now, getting older. Reece Mason, I lost Luke Yates, but Reece was still with me. Alex Forshaw, he was with me. Lewis was with me. Dan Turton was. I got probably 6 or 7 of my old youth teams still in and around it, freshening it up. But by then we'd signed Kieran Whittaker, Jay Pearson, Todd Ferrier. We'd signed good players.
Yeah.
That's probably something I've done well over the years, is finding value.
Yeah.
This game's about value. It's not about how much, it's how much value. And I think that's an art, you know, is how well do you spend your money, not how much money do you spend. So we picked off some good players. And again, a bit of luck. No doubt about it. You know, we're not super wizards with finding players. We had a bit of luck. But once you find the luck, you've then got to nurture them and get them to want to perform every week.
But if you're continuing to do that like throughout your career,
yeah,
then surely at some point it's not luck anymore. It's just.
Yeah. So it's not luck. It's not. So there's an element to luck, isn't there?
Yeah.
When if you sign an 18-year-old, 17-year-old, 16-year-old, you've done as much due diligence as you can do. You then give them an environment to thrive in. Now, running parallel with that is their home lives. So, if you can imagine, I've had lads play for me from when they were 6, and they're still playing for me now. So you've gone through infants and juniors, and so if you think of every important facet of their lives to now what they do now, and to still be on the same psychological path as they are, for them to still want to be with you, and you still want to be with them, there's a lot of things you have to adapt to. And I guess that's the art of it, isn't it? The art of this is getting good value, getting good people, and being truthful and loyal and honest, I guess. Was
it that season then with Wolves Kazis was the one COVID season where it came to an end before?
Yeah. So yes. The season before, we won the League Cup with Kazis. We won the League Cup, which was Kazis' first trophy, I think, in 30 years. And then it was the season that got curtailed by COVID, which eventually got them promoted on points per game.
Oh yeah, they did. So that was your team that got.
That was my team.
Your team that got promoted.
Yeah. They never get the credit for it, and I think I've said this once.
Yeah, you don't get the credit for it.
Not me, the team. I got promoted. We got promoted. I'll call it. I don't mind because we did.
Yeah.
But I guess.
Why do you think you don't get the credit for it, or your team doesn't get the credit for it? You got up points per game.
Yeah, look,
You're in a good position.
If you've been in non-league as long as I know you have and I have, there's not a lot of praise flying around and a lot of credit. If somebody can find a negative connotation to why you do anything, they'll find it. But no, it was we did fantastic at Kazis. I think we conceded 10 goals all season. We lost 2 games all season. We've got the lowest goals against in the country. We won the League Cup, and we were getting promoted. As it happened, COVID came and then points per game, and fortunately for Kazis, they went up.
Why did you leave Kazis at that point?
So we still got next to no money.
Yeah. But did you want to have like a bite at step 5?
So I went to another step 6 team.
Yeah.
So Kazis went to step 5 and I stayed at 6.
Yeah, so why didn't you want to go with Kazis to step 5?
So I left before the points per game decision was made.
Okay. Why did you leave?
Because Bilston had got a budget.
Yeah, okay.
Now, so throughout all of this, throughout all of this, I've always said I'll do the right thing for the players.
Yeah.
So fundamentally, when you sign me and the players I've got. So I got to a stage where I'm saying to lads who, the Alex Forshaws of this world, Ben Podmores of this world, Kieran Whitakers of this world, Josh Jones is good players who'm doing it for love. It's only right that I've got to start looking after them. So yeah, we went to Bilston not predominantly, completely for the money, of which it was £400 a week. So
yeah,
we didn't leave there for £2 grand a week. We left for 400 quid. But I'd got to get in the game. I'd got to get in the game of being able to look after the players who were absolutely looking after me. They were looking after me. They were making me look good.
Yeah.
So it was only right that.
You had something to reward them.
100%.
No, I completely understand that.
100%. And that's why I left.
I think like Lance has been in a similar position where you have players that have been loyal to you, have done so much for you, and you know they can get more money elsewhere.
Yep.
So you need that kind of budget to be able to reward them for that, and sometimes you don't get it, so you have to walk away.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that's the correct decision you made there.
Yeah. I still think he was, because I've never done anything for myself. Everything has always been for us. It's always been in us. It's never not been in us, and it's hurt me at times.
Yeah.
But I'd rather it have hurt me than for me to have hurt them.
Yeah.
No one can ever say that you didn't stick by your players, because I always have. To a fault, probably.
No, but that's what loyalty is.
Agreed. I'd rather be the one shafted than the one doing the shafting. So
it's a very good trait to have.
Do
you think that trait's respected enough in non-league?
So I think it's respected with the people I care about.
Yeah.
I don't think it's understood.
Yeah.
I don't think chairmen have the sense at times to understand what's going on. That's not all chairmen. But I don't think there's an appreciation for who does what in the game. But I'm quite happy that there's a swamp of. There's some fantastic people in non-league football. So I'm not going to sit here for 1 minute. And I do respect all managers. I don't like them all, and they don't all like me. But from a respect point of view, if you do this day in, day out, week in, week out, year in, year out, it takes a certain type of person and commitment to do that. But the fact that a lot of them don't do what I do, it helps me, doesn't it? Because they just make it easier for me to recruit, keep, and re-recruit. Because, yeah, it's easier for me. It's better that everyone isn't like me than is like me.
Yeah.
So I don't worry about that. I worry about, I think there's an unfairness around jobs at times. I've never hidden away from that. But it is what it, life is what it is. And I'm not going to change my ways overly. I think that this year has been a slight change for me.
Welcome to that.
Yeah, but yeah, in relation to what I believe in, we've said many times as men in a changing room, we either stand for something or we stand for nothing. So let's stand for something and believe that good things will come. It sounds quite highfalutin, but
That's the truth.
Anyone who's been in my change rooms will tell you that that's how I live and that's how we work. Good things happen to good people.
Do you need a goalkeeper coach? When you're leaving Wolves Kazis, what was the chairman's reaction to that?
Not very good.
Not very good.
Not very good. I probably didn't handle it the best way I could. I don't believe. So there was a period of time when, over COVID, mine and their communication weren't great. So if I could have changed my level of communication at the time, I probably would have done. However, they could have changed their level of communication also. So not very pleased, and understandably, because we'd had a great season. We were doing good things. We got a good side, obviously. But I just think that they were asleep at the wheel slightly.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think your relationship has been damaged since then and will always be?
With Kazzy, so
Yeah.
so they still charge me. They still charge me when every time I go back.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. They all do actually. Yeah.
That's
so,
the worst thing, you know. You're at a club for how many, whatever, like, even a year or whatever.
Yeah.
You've got all them expenses or whatnot. The least that you can do is let
No,
you
no,
in.
look, listen. I think if I'm on it, I think I might have got him once recently with Kazzy's, but nah, look, I've got no ill feeling to them.
Yeah.
I've had a conversation with Paul, who runs Kazzy's, and I've explained to him what my thoughts was. He's explained to me his thoughts. We're all good now.
Do you regret anything?
I could have communicated better,
Yeah, just
but I communicated how I was treated, and it wasn't. They didn't do anything through malice. They did everything they said they would do, but and I was a younger man,
Yeah.
so I haven't always been perfect. So in an ideal world, I'd have probably communicated slightly different with them.
What was your time like at Darlaston Town?
So that was right in the throes of COVID.
Yeah. So the first season would have been like 8 games or something.
Yeah. So started off really good. We had a real big connection with the supporters. Again, we took supporters from Bilston to Darlaston with us,
Oh, okay.
who's still there with us now.
Yeah.
And we still have Bilston supporters come and follow us. So it was just they were just in a different place to where I was, and without really washing it public there, dirty washing, we got a difference of opinion on what the club needed. And
was it a lack of ambition from Bilston, or what was it?
Look, I'm a strong character,
Yeah.
and they had some strong characters within the club,
Yeah.
and those strong characters are working really hard within the club. However, the people within a football club need to run the football club, and then the manager needs to run the football.
Are you saying that they were getting involved in your management?
No, they just didn't want to. There were certain things. I think the icing on the cake probably for me was we'd gone through COVID. The team had season before had lost 10 games, the first 10 games of the season, I believe. Before we went, they'd had a real bad time. Not bad people, but bad time. I wanted a game. We were kicking back off into the league. I wanted a game on a Tuesday night to get ready for the league, and I over prepare. That's a thing I've always done. Over prepare, never leave, and that's not because that's the way I believe it to be. Harder I work, luckier I get. So I wanted to throw a game in before the weekend, and they just said, "Look, we think you've had enough. You've had enough games." And I'm like, I don't think there's anybody qualified here to tell me what a team needs to get ready for kicking off again after COVID. So really, something so minor to some people was just like, it's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
So I knew then that my days there were numbered.
Was it like a few small things rather than just one big thing?
Yes, because what I have done, and I've always done, I've always told people what I'm like before I get a job. Because, again, it's very similar to how it is with players. If I tell you how I am, then there's no surprise. So I don't bullshit people into hiring me because I'm going to do all of this fancy stuff. I tell you how it is, and you have to do what you say. I will do what I say. You have to do what you say. And that didn't quite happen. So on that point alone, I got no choice. I got no choice but to. I'm not going to be told how to run a football. And it wasn't a massive issue.
Yeah.
But it's enough for me. It's enough for me. So this wasn't right.
So did you end up leaving, and at what point of the season did you leave?
So we'd gone back into lockdown.
Oh, okay.
We'd gone back into lockdown. So obviously some of this now gets a little sketchy, the timing, so I wouldn't want to lie about anything. But we was into lockdown. I'd been friends with the Darlaston chairman for by then probably 5 years. We used to go to games every week. Me and Neil. He never asked me whether I want. We'd had conversation. He'd interviewed me for the job when I was at Wednesfield. He'd asked me if I wanted to go when I was at Wednesfield, and we just got promoted from 7. So I said I wouldn't go because obviously I took a team. And these are the little things that you look back now thinking, geez. But I said no. We took Wednesfield up, and they look. Darlaston did great. So I had a phone call then off the chairman of Bilston to say, and Neil, and I know I met Neil every single week probably for 3-4 years, and he had contacted Bilston to say, can we speak to your manager? And he hadn't asked me, and he hadn't, and everybody would think it's a fait accompli that we would just get the job, but he hadn't asked me. He'd done it right. He's a gentleman. He'd done it right. So Bilston chairman phoned me and she said, Neil, Darlaston want to speak to you. Do you want to talk to him? And I said, yeah, I'll talk to him. So I said, I'll give you 24 hours to make your mind up. And I said, nah, look, I'll jack.
That can't work.
I can't, that don't work. Yeah, exactly that.
It's the whole process. You've got to think about it, interview, then get offered the job.
Yeah. So I said, no, look. So that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I think it might have been 48. It weren't now. We were in lockdown, so there was nothing happening either. So we weren't time precious. And
who were you replacing at Darlaston?
So a guy who now manages FC Darlaston.
Oh, okay.
A lad named Nick. And yeah, they were struggling. They were struggling at step 6. Again, COVID saved them from a potential relegation. So yeah, I went down with Lee. We had about 2 hours with the committee. I thought I was just going down to see Neil and shake hands and agree the job. When I got there was a full panel of Darlaston committee, and we spent 2 hours batting questions to and from. Which Neil does that. Neil wanted to make sure that he'd done the due process, and everybody else was happy for me to come on board.
Was there anyone else in the pipeline for your job?
I don't believe so, no.
No.
I don't believe, no. Otherwise, no, because I don't believe so, no.
Yeah. So then when you took over at Darlaston Town then, Darlaston and Bilston have a rivalry? Local teams?
I guess. Nothing big. They hadn't been in competitive football with each other because Darlaston come from 8 to 7. So, there is some competition there, but nothing to fall out over.
How did Bilston take the fact that you were leaving?
Not very well. Again, there was not very well. They still charged me to go in. But all right, not very well. You know, I understand it. I understand it. A lot of what I'm demanding, so people don't want that, and there's a lot of managers who are just happy to be managers, and I manage a football team and they turn up and they put a team out and they lose and they go out. That's not us. So we're quite demanding. So and if you don't, and I think Neil, as you know, Neil is no longer chairman at Darlaston, and I was a pain, you know. I'm a pain in the backside because we're continually striving to be better. I believe we've got a lot of common sense and business acumen behind it. So it's not like we're demanding we just want this, we want it now, and otherwise we're going to cry. But we're a demanding management team. So we demand of the players, but my job is then to demand of the club for the players. And I've always managed to get that balance quite well. I've got the balance at Darlaston, he's right, has been right, where it weren't quite right at Bilston.
Do you think over the course of your career you've improved managing upwards?
Yeah, definitely. I think that is the name of the game. Like I said earlier, I set my tone early doors. This is what I need. And it's not a lot. So I didn't leave Darlaston for 1 penny more money, not 1 penny more money. But when we went into Darlaston, we set up a matrix and a framework of increased revenue. So we baselined where Darlaston were financially, and we just said, look, as and when we improve this position, can we share in the benefits of the success within the budget? So the answer was yes. Smart, a very smart answer for me, for them. And so we had a baseline budget of £400, and every avenue that we improved, we shared in the benefit of that.
Yeah.
And they're the straightest club in the world, the straightest, most honourable club in the world. They're unbelievable at it, and they've been as good as they were on stuff like that. So,
do you think that's why you and Darlaston is a very good kind of match, because you both align in your values?
Well, yeah, absolutely. So, my values with my players, like the values I expect back. If I've got a club who's giving me everything they can, because that's the point. For me to leave for a club who maybe give me more money, but the values are all over the place, and the methods are working all over the place, then that's never going to work with me. Wouldn't last a day, because I couldn't work for idiots, and I can't work for people who don't have. Now, I don't have the most perfect values in the world, so I'm not sitting here like I'm some sort of angel. I'm not.
Your values are your values.
But there's levels to this, and to be fair to Darlaston, with and I can give you examples throughout the 5 seasons I've been there. I don't get everything I want because I'm intrinsically in the detail of the club. I don't ask for what I don't think I can have, because I know what's going on. I made sure every 3 months I know how much money they've got in the bank. We have been completely sustainable. The bank has probably took a knock last year for the first time, because we had to do another raft of ground improvements. But from a first team perspective, we've washed our face. From the day I went in, bottom of step 6, to last year, 3rd or 4th at step 4, looking at step 3, we hadn't had a penny off anybody other than the matrix of commercial improvements that we put together on the ground, on sponsorship, money from cup competitions, FA Cup money. We had initiatives for the players. So we set up lots and lots of little financial channels to the first team. Now the reality was they were new channels, they were new money. So that we only ever had the success that we brought in, and he completely washed his face, and he still washes his face.
What was the remit when you joined Darlaston? What was your job?
So they wouldn't tell Neil, and I still think there's no remit now. If I'm honest, they rightly or wrongly, that is. I think they're smart people. There's some really smart people within the club. They understand what we've got together at the minute is a good thing, and we've surpassed their expectations. So again, it was just they were getting relegated from 6 to 7. They didn't want to be doing that. And Neil's words when I used to have many chats with him was he wanted a team on the pitch as good as the team he had off the pitch. So because they run a fantastic club, and that's what we believe that we gave him, and I think he will. And he's openly said, we've pushed a little bit too hard or a bit quick. For everything to be sustainable, it's hard going. The club's built on volunteers, so it's not built on anything other than the love of the people who love Darlaston. So that can be tough at times.
Do you think you can be a victim of your own success?
Yeah, definitely. It's a really. I'll keep alluding to it. It is a real crossroads now.
Yeah.
It's a real crossroads for them, real crossroads for me. and somewhere we have to find out where we are with this. Now that what I love about Darlaston is we do that like men. We sit down. I'm meeting the treasurer tomorrow. We'll go through where we are financially as a club. Make sure we're still sustainable. Now what I mean by sustainable is that we're not spending a penny more than we're bringing in. There's money in the bank. All our accounts are on Company's House. You can see everything about Darlaston. They're as transparent as the day is long. But I'm acutely precious over the fact that there's no clubs going bump on my watch.
Yeah.
However, if there's £10,000 in the budget, I'm spending 10,000 quid. But if there's 20, I'll spend that. I'm not averse to spending money. But if we've only got 8, I'm only spending 8. So I'm acutely aware of how the business runs as well as how the team runs.
You got promoted from Step 6,
Yeah.
MFL.
Yeah.
What was the biggest driving factor behind that promotion? Was it your culture that you built? Was it tactically? What was it? The players or recruitment? What was the driving factor, you think?
So we started 2006.
Yeah.
That was ultimately started day one, and we just kept bolting on better things, and things were flourishing because they were getting older. The team we had by the time we got out of 6 was too good. But I still have to allow it to be successful in its own right, where it would have been really easy for me just to throw away half of it, and just get a better half in quick, and make my job a lot easier. But when we come out of 6, Atherstone, they won the league by 100 points. Like, they had 100 points. They won the league by 20 points. I know their manager. I know Davo really well. He's a good guy. Like him a lot. And they absolutely walked the league. We went up to the playoffs, but within 12 months we'd finished 20 points higher than them at Step 5, because I believe the work I did, and I still do, of not throwing away players and throwing away the plan and keeping to the process, will give you some reward. So by the time we got into Step 5, Atherstone was struggling, and we were flying.
When you, obviously Step 5 I would say is probably one of the hardest divisions, well not Step 5 but MFL Premier is one of the hardest divisions to get out. You got promoted in your second season in Step 5. In that first season, what was your remit? What were you looking to achieve? Not Darlaston Town, because Darlaston Town didn't have any expectations. There would be, what was yours? What was the pressure you put on yourself?
Just to stay in the league.
And
that's, people are saying, oh, bullshit. Million percent the truth. I'm not arrogant enough to believe anything until I see it. I need to see it, I need to feel it. So yeah, stay in the league. And then I think we'd done about 10 games, pull the lads in together and we just said, look, we've seen all of this now. By then I'd probably seen every team in the league. We're all right, aren't we? So yeah, so now let's have a right good go. And that the season we went up was the season Walsall Wood went up, and it was a great season, great league. We blew it with about 6-7 games to go. We just run out of steam, really. We run out.
Walsall Wood were very good that season.
Yeah, look.
They were very good. Harry Harris.
Yeah, great players. And the Loy went up through the playoffs, and they came like a train from November. Again, phenomenal.
It's the most horrible place I've ever been to.
Loy.
I don't think I've ever won there.
Yeah.
And I think it's just one of them things, like you just get there, the cricket pitch is next door.
Yeah, of course.
You'll just break up the game all the time. They're good at set pieces. You're warming your goalkeeper up and there's just mud, not even grass. You can't even see grass.
Look, I think it's a lot better now.
Yeah.
Yeah, live finished the season really well. But yeah, we saw enough. We saw enough to know we were okay.
Yeah.
And it's the players driving it. The players
Yeah.
are the ones on to me saying, we're right here, we can do it. And I'm like, relax.
Yeah.
So I don't want them to rush, because we're trying to be as good as we can be. Money's not there to say, I never had a chairman come to me and say, you can have £500 a week here. It just never happened. So everything has still got to be sustainable. And I had a loyalty to lads. So yeah, they were the ones driving it more than anything. The players are driving it.
In that summer, what was your thought process? Where were you at? You've given it a right good go.
Yeah.
Just run out of steam.
Yeah.
Now it's a case of your second season in Step 5.
Yeah.
What was your thought process? What was the thing that, okay, now...
Yeah, I think we firmly believed.
Because playoffs just came in that season, was it?
Playoffs come in that
Yeah.
season. So we firmly believed that if we were at it, I think it's the same. It's the same every game. If there's a game of football to be won, we believe we can win it. Now, as we're finding out this year, some weeks we're not quite good enough. However, at Step 5, every week we were good enough if we were right. So we only ever really just concentrated on making sure we were right as often as we could be. And what would be then would be. And that's really, we've never really changed from that. Like I say, my lads they're acutely aware of where we are and what we're doing, and then we'd be working the squad, we'd work in our contacts, and we're trying to improve all the time. So yeah, we've never needed, the first season we needed to go to Step 6. My team were better than that. We didn't need to go to Step 5. We didn't need to, you know. And there's an argument that's probably where Darlaston should live.
In Step 5?
It's Step 5 probably, from a financial perspective, unless things change.
Based on your budget,
Yeah.
when you're in Step 5,
Yeah.
what would be a realistic position?
So when we were Step 5, I think because when we were, I don't know, 10th, 8th, something like that, budget-wise. What was good about Darlaston is the money they said they had. So
Yeah, you get a lot of teams that...
yeah, there was no fluctuation in ups and downs with budget, but we never had massive budget, but it was there, and the money's there now. The money's there in the bank now for this season. Money's not an issue. It just has to be sustainable. But probably, look, we weren't top 6 budgets. We've never been top 6 budgets. So, yeah, top half.
You won Step 6 on playoff.
Yeah.
You won Step 5 on the playoff.
Yeah.
Have you and your team just got a knack for turning up onto them big occasions? Because even when you were there at Step 5, I think I was there that season at Studley, and you look at it, you put a very good run together towards the end of the season. I think the last probably 10 games.
Yeah.
That took you over the line and got you competing. Have you just got a knack, and have these players have just got that knack of showing up when it's...
No, I think it's based on it's based back to day one, in honesty and trust. We went to Romulus and lost 5-4. And that was the first time I thought maybe I'm not going to get a tune out of these this year. And we had a conference call, me and 6 players on a Sunday night, because I was apoplectic. To concede 5 goals on a Saturday afternoon at Romulus is just like, nothing against Romulus, just you can't score 4 goals and not win.
Yeah.
And I got him on a call. I didn't pull him in, and just said, look, this is it now. It's either now or this team as it is. This is it. And we won 9 and conceded 2 goals in them 9 games. So I guess it's knowing, if you put the trust in the players, and the players trust in what you're saying, and that's based on, it's not a knack, it's not luck, it's based on every decision you make every day when your player phones you and says, Gaffer, can I do this? And you're like, he knows they know when I say that if it's serious, it's serious. If there's nothing to worry about, they know there's nothing to worry about. They know I've got it. So it's that trust. So if I've ever had to challenge that trust, which I did against the Sunday after Romulus, they reacted to my challenge. And like I say, we won 9 on the trot and conceded 2.
Going forward now to step 4.
Yep.
You're in your 2nd season of step 4.
Yep.
Do you think there's any pressure on you?
This year?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. No.
There's some podcasters out there that are saying there's pressure on you, and
yeah, of course. Look, I guess people love there to be pressure on me.
Yeah.
If I've got so there's a couple of answers to this. So in life, what I do, there's no pressure. I've got a fantastic life, fantastic family. So in the grand scheme of life, there's no pressure on me. In relation to football, the only pressure that's on me is to make sure that I do the best I can for my players.
The pressure that you put on yourself.
Yeah, and I have a responsibility to certain people. Now that pool of people is less now than it's ever been.
You lost a lot of players.
Yep.
This summer.
Yeah.
How did you feel about losing players to teams lower down the pyramid?
Yeah, I was devastated. Like, I could pretend and say, yeah, it don't matter, but I was devastated.
Why do you think people would do that, go further down the pyramid?
There's good money.
Yeah.
It's easier money. Yeah, good money and easier money. You know, that's it. There's no football decision being made.
But couldn't have they gone to like across the pyramid, maybe other teams in step 4, maybe step 3, maybe step 5?
Yeah, it was just easy money.
Yeah.
Easy money and an easy football for them. I probably cooled down a little bit over it, but I was devastated by it because I'd agreed deals with 11 lads, let's just say, on a Monday.
Yeah.
We potentially could have had a step 3 job by the weekend, and I'm saying to my assistant manager, I can't take that job. And he's like, well, why can't you? I said, I've just shook hands with 11 players. I can't do that now, can I? You know.
See, this is you've probably learnt this lesson now, but I think I've said this to someone else in this exact same scenario.
Yeah.
Over the course of like a summer, people, you know, budget even being halved, and he's agreed terms with a lot of players.
Yeah.
And then being offered a step 3 job.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't do this to the players, but there's no loyalty in football.
So, I guess up until this summer, I'd have argued strongly.
Yeah.
I still have players who stayed and are still fighting.
Yeah.
Who are loyal.
Yeah.
So all loyalty wasn't gone. But I guess, like I said earlier, I'd much prefer to be the one who got shafted than to be the one who had to walk into 11 players and say, see you later, boys, I've got me a great job, thanks for everything.
Yeah.
I'd never live with myself. Never would have lived with myself. I would have fully expected to fall flat on my face because karma would have dealt with me, and I still believe karma will deal with me.
Do you regret that?
Do I regret not taking the jobs?
Yeah.
No, because I think karma would have dealt with me, and I still think it will deal with me. And I've got lads now who there's different generations of lads, and they all laugh at me when I talk to them about karma and football gods and doing the right thing and good things happening to good. And they're like, oh, Dean, you talk some shit. But my life in football has absolutely proven that good karma works. You've got to be a good man. You've got to be a good football man. You've got to have skills, of course you have.
But being a good person is above all. Yeah,
if you stay good to your process and stay good to your beliefs, don't put myself before everybody else, then they left me. We were left, in the mire.
How did you deal with that?
So I had some serious conversations with some players. I was gutted. The reality is.
Do you think the players that did that and saw your reaction or whatever have felt some way or have some regret?
No. I don't think they. No, I don't think they regret it. I don't think they do. They definitely didn't do it. It wasn't a personal thing. They didn't do it to spite me. They have got families. They've got lives. I get that. I guess my way of working.
Were you blindsided by it?
Yeah, because I had agreed deals.
Yeah.
So I'd spend 6 weeks sitting on my thumbs, not recruiting players, because I'd got said players. So not only did I lose them, I'd lost the march, and we were moving leagues. We were fully snookered.
Yeah.
We hadn't got the money. We're going to a league a million miles away, in most people's opinion, not mine, by the way, but we're going to a league a million miles away, and everybody else, because as you know, these footballs are washed with money. Everybody else is paying more. What was the satisfaction? What was the drive to come to Darlaston? So we were left struggling. So it took me 10 years to build a team to finish 6th at step 4.
Great achievement, by the way.
Yeah, it took me 10 years of all the weeks, the days, the phone calls, the games, the training sessions, the everything. And then I've got 12 weeks to go again in a much harder league.
Yeah.
But again, the easiest thing for me to do then was to walk and just say, "Whoa, thank you very much." But I still shook hands with lads, and I got no choice really, but to go again.
You alluded to the fact that you've been for jobs before and probably haven't got them.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Because if you look at your CV, you got promoted with Mansfield.
Yeah.
You got promoted from step 6 with Darlaston.
Yeah.
You got promoted with Darlaston again from step 5.
Yeah.
Finished 6th with Darlaston.
Yeah.
In step 4.
Yeah.
That's some great achievements.
Yeah.
All within a 10-year period, and a few of them you can probably write off because of COVID, etc. And you got promoted with Kazis as well, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So the truth of the matter is, since I've been at Darlaston, I've looked at one other job.
Yeah.
One job. If you listen and read my super fans on Twitter, they'll tell you I apply for every single job.
Yeah.
I spoke to one club.
Yeah.
I said I'd speak to one club. That one club then divulged my interest to the world, the swamp of the world.
Yeah.
And then I just pulled out. I said, no, I got no interest in. Because I was only ever interested in the conversation, not interested in. I don't know. And I've said it for many years. I don't know how these clubs can ask people to apply for a job when you don't know what the job is.
Yeah.
Like I've just explained to you, for me to take a job on, I need to know the workings from top to bottom. I don't need to know, well, we can give you $2,500 a week, crack on, Dean.
Yeah.
Because if I've got $2,500 and chairman's an arsehole, lads aren't looked after, nowhere to train, there's no balls, then all that money in the world's not worth having. So I've never applied for a job, give me that job, and this is why I want it.
Yeah.
Because I don't. I need to know.
You can show interest in a job, but you can't apply for a job.
I need to know why I want a job. Why I don't think I. So the second part of your answer is, I don't look fashionable, do I? But I'm not your stereotypical gilet wearing.
That don't make a difference if your CV speaks for itself.
I know that. But chairmen don't, for whatever reason. You know, there's players getting, there's people getting step 5, step 4, step 3 jobs who they've never won a thing, not a thing, but they might have 3 mates in the changing rooms, or they might know somebody who knows a chairman, or they scored 25 goals once, or whatever reason there is. Chairman invariably, seemingly, will go down an easier route than big guy from Wednesfield who we're not fashion. I'm just not fashionable to in the modern day world. We just do what we say. Yeah, I can't really answer it no more than that.
Yeah.
I think if I was 13 and a half stone, bit of a shithouse to other managers, because I think there's some really bad shithouse out there. Go on.
Why do you think that is? You know, like, I've always seen in the non-league thing, like, I've been about it for about 6 years, yeah? And you hear a lot of things, and then you meet people, and you think, actually, I heard this about you, but you're actually a sound bloke.
Yeah.
But there's always a lot of, like, backstabbing, a lot of snakes within that industry, and it's very hard to find people that are honest and transparent. I've been blessed that whoever I've worked with have been quite honest and transparent. Why is it that there's so many out there that are just...
Well, it's jealousy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's lazy and jealousy. So if you knew the league I started in and the teams I started managing against, I was probably not qualified to start in the world in non-league football's eyes, because I didn't play step 6 football for 25 years, and I just wasn't your stereotypical non-league football manager. So I was never fashionable that way, and it's just carried on really. I think it's just carried on that, then people are like, oh, he's still doing well. We had 9 top 5 finishes and 1 top 7. Now, let's just say, for example, a manager this year. So if a manager gets took out of step 4, wins step 4 this year, you get offered a step 3 job or a step 2 job. If I'd have been offered a job every time I got promoted, I'd be in League 1 now.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, like I say, I don't backstab other managers. I won't go to a club that's struggling and say, I'll come and take that job, because I can't do that, because what am I supposed to do with all the players? This isn't about me. Now, I've never hidden away from the fact that I want to do the best I can. But sensible, good clubs, I believe, who spend hundreds of thousands of pounds a year, need to try and work out where they get the best value from.
Yeah.
And you know, I think they're very reactive in this game, so they don't do anything until something blows up, and then they look who's next. And I'm busy working away on my little project still, so I'm not looking to move. Is the point? And I think unless you're looking to move and you're waving your arms in the air and you're backstabbing people.
Yeah, I think one of the things is once you're out the game, it's very difficult to go back in the game. I wanted to touch upon, obviously, Neil's left as a chairman at Darlaston.
Yeah.
How do you think, and that's quite recent, how do you think that's going to affect you with a new chairman coming in?
So I think I believe it'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think there'll be some transition of the old to the new. The guy who's got it at the moment is interim, so I guess he's checking to see whether he likes it, and the club's checking to see whether they like him. But my first dealings with them have been fine. I've known them obviously, but they've been there all the time I've been there. I anticipate it's going to be good. The club will be good. The club, and the club will always be good. It's got real good people in it. There's very sane people. There's nobody running away with big, massive, silly dreams.
That makes a huge difference, and I think the greatest kind of compliment someone can give you is when you do eventually leave the club, you're leaving the club in a better place than you found it. Yeah,
so like I say, they were getting relegated at the from step 6. We've been on the TV. We've been in 2 cup finals. We've had 2 playoff wins, 2 promotions. We beat the Wolves. We beat the Albion. We beat Ensford. We beat Chasetown. We've had some unbelievable times. And this is the players. Make no bones about it. Players have done unbelievable, supported by the club. But
at the end of the day, players need that environment, to be able to prosper.
Agreed.
What's the hardest thing you've had to go through in football?
So, good question. So 2 things. From a football perspective, this time, this right here, right now, this is as hard as I've ever had it.
Don't you think you got way too much credit in the bank though?
So I don't need, if we just talk about this season,
Yeah.
I don't need to stay in the league personally.
Yeah.
I don't need to do that because my ego says you can't stand the relegation. I can, and that I'd struggle to do that to the club because I have responsibility, and to some of the players who I still have responsibility to. So this right time, right here, right now, this is tough.
Have you ever been in a situation like this before?
No,
No.
and I'm as calm now as I was when I was in the playoffs. I'm as calm now. There's nothing I don't see. There's nothing I'm worried about. There's the reality, but there's one of the good things I guess about me is I'm a realist. So if I'm telling, like, if I'll happily tell lads we're okay today. This is how we're going to do it, and we're okay. And 9 times out of 10, you know, maybe 8 times out of 10, that happens. What I tell them will happen. If they do this, happens. I'm at the stage now where I can't tell them, if you can do this, everything's going to be okay, because we're playing some phenomenal teams. It's the best season of football I've ever been involved in. The level's great, the grounds are great, the support, away support is great. It's a different level of, and it's different level from the Midlands.
Do you think you could have prepared better?
Prepared. I could have prepared better if I hadn't lost the players.
Yeah. Okay.
So if we hadn't have lost the players, we'd be mid-table.
Yeah.
Now that's a fact. I've got no. So we played 14 games and we've still won 7. We've still been winning at half time in 7 of the games.
Yeah.
So there's a stat that I've done that. So Saturday 5 o'clock till Saturday at 4 o'clock, I think we're second in the league.
Okay.
So we finish a game at 5 o'clock, and then get to half time, we're second in the league, and then from 4 o'clock on a Saturday till 5 o'clock on a Saturday, we're bottom. So everything we do right in the week. We prepare right. We watch the game. We see the team. First half, we're second in the league. Second half, we're bottom of the league. Now that's solely down to resource, experience, timing.
Do you find it harder to recruit at this moment in time because you're in the other league?
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Because everything you've always known is this side.
Yeah.
Everyone in your book is always this side, and now you've got to go navigate.
Nobody wants to come.
Yeah.
You know, so at this present moment, we're having to the business model is we'll try and find somebody who really wants to kick on, who earns 70 quid.
Yeah.
Pay him £120.
Yeah.
And make him play like he's worth 300.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the business model. There's not. Now we have players who earn more than 100 quid, but our reality is that we have to find, because you're £120. We've got lads at step 6 now earning £250 a week.
It's insane.
You know, it's like fishing in a barrel. You know, it's not. It's not. Look, each to their own. But I'm not taking players out of step 6 or out of step 5 for the same money, because they actually haven't got the ambition for the football.
Yeah.
Because this is the first season.
They'll move along for another extra 10, 20 quid.
Well, this is the real. So the challenge we're finding is how much do you really want to challenge yourself, and because there's around the Birmingham and Wolverhampton and Walsall area, there's that many teams with that much money. If you want an easy game of football and earn a few quid, they're there. You don't have to train, turn up when you want. There's no standards. You can just do what you want to do and pick up your 100 quid. Well, that's the complete opposite to working for me. So he finds out who actually wants it. Do you want the challenge? And we're just in that process now of trying to find the balance of players that absolutely want it. and are good enough. And are good enough.
Going back to your promotion-winning season
Yeah.
in Step 6, a great tragedy occurred. Leon Taylor.
Yeah.
How was it at that particular moment in time? How difficult did you find it?
Yeah, massively difficult. Massively difficult. However, the reaction of the game raised £30,000 for his family. My team came together. A lot of the maturity and bravery. So I think I've said this before, and I'm not going to over talk about it, but 5 or 6 of my lads were working on Leon when he went down. They were there. They were there, and they'll never forget that. And them lads then came back and got promoted. It's unbelievable what them young lads went through.
Did it change you as a person or a manager?
No, because like I say, it was a horrendous experience. But as a club, as a manager, as a person, I felt like I did everything I could do for the family, and I did everything I could do for my players.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of positive come out of the negative.
Yeah.
Now that's not for his family. There's nothing
Yeah.
positive out of that. I get it, but in relation to me being a doer and a fixer, I tried my best to fix it the best I could, considering the situation I was in. I was immensely proud of the club, immensely proud of my players who stood up on the day when I'm sure many young men had run away. My lads were there. Yeah, so terrible time, but we did our best for him, and I know if he knows that.
Yeah. Who was you obviously vet your players, and you want people that come into your squad that buy into everything.
Yeah.
Was there any point where you've got players and you thought, okay, not based on ability, but I've got it wrong with this person?
Yeah, a few times. I usually tell them before that that's my view. Yeah. So I have many times said, look, my view is you're not quite right for us, based on this, because I've heard this, and we're gonna be this. And sometimes they're like, no, and it's worked well. Sometimes I've had players who've said, look, I want to leave, this manager's rubbish, that manager's rubbish, and then within a week I understand it was never the managers, it was them. So there's been times, but rare, because we try and recruit as well as we can. And we don't because there's no actually big sell to come to Darlaston. So
apart from IKEA.
Look, we look after players, and we've been successful. If you've played for us for the last 10 years, you've had some great times. You've been on TV. Like I say, you've been promoted 4 times. I think we've had 5 cup finals. We've had a good time. It's been a blast. The financial rewards are not all there was, but like I say,
sometimes not about that.
No.
Name me a player that you would have loved to sign, but you were unable to, whether it's for budget or whatever it is, but you would have loved to have managed?
Oof, that's a great question. That's a great question. Ask me something else, and I'll think about that. Who would I have loved to have signed? I don't know.
Someone you just see across non-league and say, you know what, you're my kind of guy. I would have loved to have you play under me.
Yeah. God, I'll leave that with me. Let me come back to that. There's some fantastic players out there, some real.
Or have you got anyone that was there for a short time that might have gone back to like step 3 or something like that, and you thought I would have loved to have you for a long time?
No, look, I think so. The Luke Yates of this world, we had Luke Yates. Obviously, Kieran Cook's back with us now. Kieran Whittaker, you know, these are lads who did play for me and have moved on.
Yeah.
For other reasons, and for good reasons. Todd Ferrier, good players. If I'd have had the finance, we'd have probably be. If I could have had slightly more money, we'd probably be a Step 3 team now.
Yeah.
At Darlaston or at Bilston, because we had the players, we've had the players, and we've developed the players. So, yeah, who would I?
Well, if you got an open checkbook now, you can sign one player. Who would you sign now? Right now, based on the situation you're in.
Oh dear. Look, the best. So the best player, or one of the best players I've ever had, and the player we miss the most is Ben Podmore.
Yeah.
We miss him. I hate to say it, and if he's watching this, I hate to say it. But we miss him dreadfully. He was the best at what he does. He would eat this league, and to find Ben Podmore equivalents are hard. So Poddy's a big miss.
Yeah. Hopefully he watches this and might give you a call.
Yeah, don't bother.
That's a great place to stop, man. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Going back to your promotion winning season
Yeah.
in Step 6, a great tragedy occurred. Leon Taylor.
Yeah.
How was it at that particular moment in time? How difficult did you find it? Did it change you as a person or a manager?
But I'm not taking players out of Step 6 or out of Step 5 for the same money because they actually haven't got the ambition for the football.
Yeah.
Because this is the first season.
Name me a player that
Yeah.
you would have loved to sign but you were unable to, whether it's for budget or whatever it is, but
Oh,
you would have
okay.
loved to have managed?
Oof, that's a great question. That's a great question.
Today's episode of Evolve and Inspire is brought to you by Greenstorm, helping homes and businesses cut energy costs and carbon through installation, heating and solar panels. For a cleaner, greener tomorrow, visit greenstorm.energy. Dean, welcome to Evolve and Inspire. Let's start all the way back. You growing up, where did you grow up?
Love football all my life. Been involved with it all my life really. So yeah, love sport.